Welcome everybody. I am very excited about today's video because today we are talking about something that I have been very excited about lately. I've been working on harder lately, and that is thumbnails. Thumbnails are extremely important for really just any channel. Your thumbnails just need to look right. I've been putting a lot more work into my thumbnails, as you may have noticed the last few weeks here. Maybe you didn't notice, but I've been trying. Thumbnails are super important. They're the first impression that anyone gets of your video. If they're scrolling past it, that's the first thing they see. It's the first feeling they get about it. It's their first impression. So today I'm going to be sharing with you some tips to help you, hopefully help you get some better thumbnails. Hopefully this will help you up your thumbnail game. I'm going to show you how I have been doing my thumbnails these past few weeks. It's a whole different thing than just a normal photo edit. So I'm going to head on over to the computer. I'm going to show you how I do this and what I do. So this is the picture of the nice Dodge Charger I'll be using for today's thumbnail. Basically what I want to do, how I'm going to do this, you already saw the finished product, but I'm going to be showing you how I did this. So the first thing I'm going to do is just hit edit, and I'm going to crop this to size. So I'm going to take off a little bit of the trees. There's just a little bit much right there. Center of the car. That looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. And then we're going to do done. So now that I have it cropped, before I edit it, I'm going to put it onto the desktop. And then I'm going to grab this, and then I'm going to edit it. So I'm going to just brighten it up a little bit here, add a little bit of a color, not too much. Typically the first thing I do is I look through the filters, see if any of them look good, and go from there. I don't really like any of them, so I'm just going to go from scratch. And I'm going to add a little bit of color here. I'm going to mess with the leaves. I'm going to make them a little bit more golden. It'll make it look a little bit more golden hour-like. It was actually pretty close to golden hour, but this makes it look like it was just a crispy, gorgeous golden hour. Really goldens up the leaves back here. Makes it look a lot better. So I'm going to come to the reds, and I'm going to make that red just pop a little bit more. You don't want to just like make it, too much, but you want it just to pop a little bit. The rules for editing a thumbnail are a little bit different than the rules for editing just a regular photo, because people see it so small. Contrast can be higher, definition can be higher, colors can be higher because it's so small, and you want it to pop. You don't want it to be a flat image. That said, don't just go ham with it and make it look like that, because it'll still look terrible, but you can do a little bit more with it. So I'm going to add a little bit of vignette, just to help that car pop out. Something like that looks good to me, so we're going to leave it at that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the edited version onto the desktop as well. And then I'm just going to re-upload them into Photos. And I'm going to crop both of them in half. So I'm going to take this left half of my picture to be the unedited side. We're going to split it right at that D, and we're going to just go like that, and then we're going to do the same thing on our edited photo but for the other side. Split it right at that D again where the other split was. So that is perfect. So now we have both halves of our car right here, one edited, one unedited. We're going to throw these onto the desktop and just clean up here a little bit and move these off of the desktop. So I already have a white photo on my desktop. Grab one of those and throw them on there, because that is going to be a little divider for us, as you'll see in a second. So we're just going to open up Safari and go to Pixlr.com. This is a free editor. Love this so much. It's really, really, really impressive. Do Pixlr E. It's a little bit higher quality, a little bit more advanced. So we're going to do create new right here. You can open image, but you don't want to do that right now. That's for if you want to edit just one specific image. Do create new and then do full HD. And then right over here you see the create button. Hit that. So now you have just basically a blank slate to do whatever you want with. So we're going to hit this little plus that adds a layer, empty image, or text. We want image right now. So we're going to come in here and hit this. We're going to adjust our white kind of canvas. It's just going to be kind of our blank slate to start with, and just make the whole shebang white. So now it's all white, so we have a nice good white background. And then we're going to do the same thing again and start adding our other photos. So this is our unedited photo. As you can see, it starts super, super big. So we're just going to zoom out a little bit and make that a lot smaller. Something just like that. And then we can do this again with our edited photo. So again, we have to make this a lot smaller and just drag it up right there. So now we have the basic idea of what our thumbnail's looking like. We have edited over here, unedited over here. So we need to get this down to size, and then what we need to do is we need to line it up with a tiny little bit of that white divider in the center, which is why I added that white canvas background. So we need to line this up and then just make this line very, very slim here. Line up that D just like that. Perfect. So as you can see, this is basically our thumbnail, but I would like to add a little bit of text to this. So I'm going to come over here, I'm going to hit the plus again, and where it says text, we're going to hit that, and we can just add B4. And then we're going to select our font up here. You can do this with the free version of TubeBuddy as far as the text part, but they only have one font, and I really hate it. So this is a lot better. I'm going to go with this. And we're going to make the size a lot bigger. There we go. That's looking really, really good. So we're just going to put that right up here. Perfect. Now we're going to do the same thing again. And then we're going to do after. Perfect. Actually, I'm going to move these down here maybe to the center, actually. Just so that we can see those nice golden leaves in the background. Now I've noticed we have a little bit of issue right here. This is not quite lined up here. So it looks like this picture is slightly larger. This is about the hardest part, I think, of this, is getting these to exactly the same size to make it all line up. Now you can do with no separation, but it's just a little bit confusing. It's nice to have that white line just to add a little bit of separation there. Okay, and we are completely finished with our thumbnail. So now what we're going to want to do is we're going to come over here to File and then hit Save. And we can get it onto our desktop from here. We're going to do this as a JPEG, 100% quality. Make sure all of the quality is as high as it can go. And then we are going to do Download. So now it is downloaded here. We're just going to drag this out onto our desktop and open that up to show you guys. That is the finished product before, after. That is a quick overview of how I do my thumbnails. Of course, not all are like this, but you just use iPhoto and Pixlr. If you don't know how to use Pixlr, look up some tutorials. It's definitely worth your time to learn how to use that editing software. It's one of the best free photo editors out there. You can do so much with it, so definitely check that out. Okay, so that is pretty much it. That is how I have been taking my thumbnails, I've been editing my thumbnails. I feel like a lot of people don't realize how important title and thumbnail are to a video. It's extremely important, as I found out. You'll get more clicks, you'll get more views. That's not to say that your video isn't important. Your video has to be engaging to keep them there, but for your video to be engaging, you first have to get them there so that they can be engaged. So this is extremely important. I hope this helped you learn something about thumbnails. If it did, let me know down in the comments. Also, if you have anything to add to this, any more tips or tricks for how you would do your thumbnails or how you do your thumbnails, leave those down in the comments. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys next week.